understands this industry. Must be somebody who is familiar with, with the dynamics of this industry, because it is very young. Imagine now we have some other SACCOs that are coming in, the Emyoga SACCO. They are supposed to be part of our family. And these ones are now in thousands. There are about 36,000 registered. Now we have our institutional SACCOs, many of them. So, if you don't have somebody that understands that family very well, either out of fear, either out of failure to have certain parameters, they can go out of business.
The extension of the SACCO income tax exemption beyond June 2027 is a major relief to cooperative institutions serving grassroots communities.
That we are getting exempt, that's the prayer. And people are saying, why? What is the problem? What is it? He labored to give scenarios. He was saying, if, for example, you don't pay tax here, we can get you somewhere in a corner. He actually gave the example of, let's say, somebody who takes a beer. He says, you earn here, then you run to the what? We shall catch up with you there. You finish earning here, then you go in a taxi or in a vehicle, you drive your Mercedes, there is a taxiway. So he was giving scenarios that some of these direct taxes are an infringement.
The directive to the Bank of Uganda to hold restrictive actions against SACCOs affirms the cooperative identity of the sector.
The SACCOs in this country are having one major problem. One major problem. The problem is leadership. Whether in management, whether on board, it is leadership.
According to Chitanda, the proposed stakeholders meeting will help establish fair and harmonized regulations. SACCOs were urged to remain calm and professional as the union awaits further guidance. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
We'll now take a short break, but we'll be returning with business news.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get more goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Welcome back from that break, and you're still watching News Tonight here on UBC TV. In our business segment, we're going to look at Buza Commissioner, where the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority gets time to respond to some of the questions that you happen to have sent to him in the course of the week, or even today, Monday. Take a watch and let's see this.
So now,
welcome back to Buza Commissioner program. I want to thank our valued listeners and those who view us and follow this program, and especially those who participate and send us questions. Today, we are starting with a question from Braveheart. And Braveheart says, I would like to know the procedure for half payment of tax in case of an imported truck. Now, Braveheart, thank you for this question. The other way to put your question or to answer you back is that you're asking about the possibility of paying taxes in installments when you import a truck or any good for that matter. Yes, I would like to confirm to all our viewers that when the taxpayer is unable to pay all the taxes upfront, after they've received the assessment of how much tax they are supposed to pay on a truck they are importing into the country or any type of goods, URA has a provision of enabling our taxpayers pay the taxes in installments. So this is what you need to do, Braveheart. After your truck has arrived, submit all the importation and transportation documents to Uganda Revenue Authority so that we can help you come up with the assessment of how much tax you'll need to pay. Once you have that assessment and you realize that you cannot pay all the money upfront, write to us, write to the Commissioner for Customs, and tell us that I have an obligation to pay so much, but I have only this much for now, and I'm ready to pay the balance in a duration of 2 months or 3 months or whatever period you really like. But normally, we do not want this period to exceed a financial year. So now we are left with 5 months to the end of the financial year, end of June. You can ask to pay in those remaining months. Now, once your application is received, we will consider it and we'll get back to you. And one of the requirements we want you to do before we clear your vehicle is to enter a memorandum of understanding, whereby we capture the terms of our agreement, including the month that it will take you to clear the balance, the interest, because the law says that for any unpaid tax, it attracts a small interest of 2% per month. So you'll pay us the fraction that you have, better if it is half or more of the assessed tax, and then the balance, you'll pay it in the installments that you can manage with that small interest of 2%. And I would like to inform all our taxpayers that this benefit is not just for those that import vehicles only. Even you who is importing goods for trade, we can allow you to pay in installments. In fact, there's a particular category of business or importers who were being exploited by container leaders. And the main advantage that the container leaders were presenting was that they lend you money when you don't have. And I'm sure their interest rate must be higher than 2%. So if you really want to import, instead of going through a container leader and they charge you an arm and a leg, deal with government directly. We can allow you to pay in installments, and you'll pay a statutory interest of 2% per month, and you will have your goods. But of course, there are measures we put in place. You should give us standing orders with your bank to pay on the due date, and then we will put a caveat if it's a car on your car, and when you have paid, we'll lift it so that you can transfer it or sell it to anybody. So those are some of the terms. Please reach out to us, Braveheart, and we'll help you clear your truck, and you'll pay the balance when you have it. Thank you very much for this good question.
Buza Kamiso now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them.
Buza Commissioner brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Senyamo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed day. But do remember that our second and final edition of News Tonight comes your way at 10 p.m. But up next here on UBC TV is The Front Bench with Sandra Kahunde, who is on standby. Sandra, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kijanangoma Edward, for the update as far as news is concerned this evening. And to your dear viewer, thank you so much for choosing the national broadcaster, coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. My name is Sandra Kahunde, welcoming you to tonight's talk, a special edition coming your way as I sit in for Jethro Kaseiji. It is The Front Bench. Now, before we get into government business tonight, we salute all the peoples out there. They just released the PLE results, that is yesterday, and was on Friday, and we gave you those updates as far as the news is concerned. We do salute all the peoples who did succeed, and we hope you transition so well as we get into the other bits as far as education is concerned, from primary to secondary, and then of course tertiary. Those who are interested, it's good to have the skilling coming through for you to survive and tap into Uganda's economy. Now, on the show tonight, we tackle something very sensitive, that is the learning outcomes, equipping learners with the skills needed for tertiary education. Now, talk tonight is centering on education itself, and we have key players in the sector tonight. Before I introduce my panel to you, as far as tonight's talk is concerned, very interesting there. We'll get to find out how the transitioning itself works out for our students when they get to other institutions themselves. Now, tonight on our show, we focus on education quality and tertiary readiness. Do learning outcomes match national skills needed? That is our talk this evening, and as I introduce my panel tonight, I'm having Dr. Ambaine Kakuru Loy Mohwezi, a commissioner from TVTOM. She's yet to introduce herself to you and tell you more about her. You're most welcome, Dr. Loy, to the program. Please greet our dear viewer.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. You are welcome.
And next to Doctor, I'm also yet to introduce myself as Dr. Sandra coming your way, because all our panelists are doctors, and next to I'm having Dr. Nambi Bernadette Karuhanga from the National Curriculum Development Center. You're most welcome to the program. Greet our dear viewer.
Thank you, Sandra. Good evening, viewers.
Wow, yes. It's all about ladies right here. You know, once you treat a girl child, you're treating the entire nation. And as women, I do salute the women out there. Women are like arrows. Wherever you place it and position it, it will stand tall. On the show tonight, I also have our Permanent Secretary from Ministry of Education and Sports, that Dr. Kedres Turiagenda. You're most welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sandra. Good evening, viewers.
Well, sit back and enjoy our conversation tonight as we look at the education sector. The overview, as a Permanent Secretary, will be giving it to us shortly, but for now, let's have the national anthem.
Oh, Uganda.